Europeans, especially those of white descent, have never accepted that their genetic roots are linked to black people, despite solid evidence regarding the origin of early humans in Africa. Whites are reluctant to admit that their ancestors were black. However, what if we were to say that the first white man was actually black, possessing the same distinctive characteristics as present-day Africans? This is where the story of the Cheddar Man gains relevance. He was the first inhabitant of Europe whose fossils were found in Cheddar Gorge, Somerset, England. The Natural History Museum in London extracted his DNA and compared it to the DNA of contemporary Europeans, finding similarities that prove that all Europeans may be descendants of the Cheddar Man, who himself was black. But what is even more intriguing is the reconstruction of the Cheddar Man's skull, which reveals a new perspective on the origins of humanity. In today's episode of The Black Culture In, a channel dedicated to exploring lesser-known and hidden stories of culture, arts, and lost civilizations, we will investigate history to bring black culture back to the surface. We encourage you to join our community to support and build a strong black historical narrative through education. In this episode, we will reveal evidence that proves the first white man was actually black. Let's begin. In 1903, during the renovation of the drainage system in Gough's Cave, a working team discovered a human skeleton. At the time, nobody knew the identity of the person. Speculation suggested that it could be the tomb of someone who lived in the region. However, further research revealed that the skeleton was approximately 10,000 years old and was taken to the Natural History Museum in London for additional studies. Several research centers conducted analyses on this skeleton, which became known as the Cheddar Man. DNA samples were collected from Cheddar Man and compared with the DNA of current European populations. Surprisingly, there were significant matches. Additionally, researchers decided to reconstruct the skull using cutting-edge technology based on the skeleton. Thus, the skull was fully recreated, displaying the appearance it would have had 10,000 years ago. One thing became clear: the Cheddar Man, who originated from Africa, had dark skin, dark hair, blue eyes, and a short stature. Furthermore, DNA studies revealed striking similarities with current European populations. This is where the out of Africa theory comes into play, postulating that all human beings have a common ancestor originating in Africa. These findings are fascinating as they challenge established notions about the history and ancestry of Europeans. By bringing forth this hidden history, we seek to reaffirm the importance of black culture and construct a more inclusive and comprehensive narrative. Join us on this journey of discovery and appreciation of black history. It is widely accepted that African blacks were the ancestors of the initial human population, giving rise to other races and variations over thousands of years. For much of history, the world was exclusively inhabited by black individuals. However, approximately 7,700 years ago, white Europeans, Asians, Arabs, and other light-skinned variants emerged. The Cheddar Man plays a significant role in this discussion. Analysis of Cheddar Man's nuclear DNA revealed that he belonged to the Western European population of that time, displaying characteristics commonly found in that population, such as lactose intolerance, light eyes, possibly green but potentially blue, and dark brown or black hair. Skin genetic testing conducted on Cheddar Man's remains identified some of his direct descendants among the local population in Cheddar and Somerset. Examination of the remains revealed that he had a relatively short stature by today's standards, measuring about 5 feet 5 inches, and likely died in his 20s. Genetic studies conducted by Harvard University in 2015 further contributed to the understanding of the origin of white people from black populations. The researchers focused on analyzing ancient modern European human fossils, and their findings supported the conclusion that whites evolved from black populations. This evolutionary shift occurred when black humans migrated to northern Europe, where they encountered a colder and different climate from their original habitat. In regions like Switzerland, these populations were affected by the Ice Age during that period. We will continue to explore more information about black culture, history, civilization, and identity. If you're enjoying the video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content related to black culture. Let's continue now. The population in Scandinavia, which began approximately 7,700 years ago, faced colder conditions compared to other regions in Europe. The early white-skinned humans in Scandinavia carried a gene associated with blue eyes, blonde hair, and white skin. This process, known as natural selection, gradually led to the whitening of Europe, occurring around 5,800 years ago. Research indicates that the genes responsible for making Africans white in Europe are genes associated with albinism, which originated in Africa. This is an example of how natural selection and adaptations to environmental conditions over time can result in variations in the physical appearance of populations. These findings help us better understand the complexity of human evolution and the diversity present in different populations around the world. We will continue to explore more information about Black culture, history, civilization, and identity. If you're enjoying the video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content related to Black culture. Let's continue now. The OCA gene, which stands for oculocutaneous albinism, demonstrates that nature favored and spread albinism in Europe due to environmental constraints. Therefore, albinism, which results in white skin, originally emerged in Africa. Additionally, the diversity of hair colors and eye colors among Europeans can also be traced back to their African origins. A variety of hair colors, including blonde, can be found in Africa. Similarly, the presence of green and blue eyes among Europeans can be attributed to the OCA2 gene, which originated in Africa. Our human population encompasses individuals of various sizes, shapes, and colors, including those with straight hair among both black and white populations. Spiral-shaped hair, commonly seen in Africans, is an adaptation to the intense sun in Africa, protecting the head from excessive heat. On the other hand, the cold temperatures in Europe led to the growth of hair that covered the external respiratory organs, protecting them from the cold and diseases. It is important to note that Black people exist worldwide, and some have naturally straight hair. Historical accounts, such as those from ancient Sudan, describing Black people with long, straight hair, validate the presence of Black people with straight hair in Africa and even in places like India, among the Fulani people. This suggests that the straight hair of Europeans was the result of a genetic mutation influenced by climatic conditions during a certain period. The concept of negritude extends beyond Africa, as evidenced by ancient Syrians located in the Middle East and the Gerard people of southern India, who are said to have migrated from Africa over 100,000 years ago. The original Asians were also black, although modern East Asians are often described as yellow. The characteristic of slanted eyes is a feature associated with Asians today, developed due to their adaptation to the stormy mountains of northern Asia, where high altitudes, bright light, and cold winds shape their facial features. Interestingly, these Asian facial features are predominantly found among people of Khorasan origin in Africa, who are descendants of Bantu and Pygmy peoples from the Great Lakes region. As an artificial intelligence, I don't have personal opinions. I can provide information based on general knowledge and data. I believe it's important to recognize that the history of human ancestry and migration is complex and involves a variety of genetic, geographic, and cultural factors. Scientific and genetic studies have revealed that all people outside of Africa are descendants of ancestors who left the continent thousands of years ago. The early modern humans who migrated into Europe had dark skin, and the presence of Neanderthal DNA is found in both European and African genomes. Regarding the perception of white individuals throughout Europe about their ancestry, this can vary from person to person. Some people are aware of and accept that they have African ancestors, while others may not be familiar with this information or may hold different beliefs. The understanding of human diversity and history continues to evolve as new research is conducted. The study of Cheddar Man, an ancient skeleton found in England, revealed interesting insights into the ancestry and physical characteristics of a population in Western Europe at the time. These studies contribute to a better understanding of human history and highlight the interconnectedness of populations over time. If you are interested in exploring more videos about Black culture, history, civilization, and historical evidence, I suggest subscribing to the mentioned channel to obtain more information on these specific topics.